Big Dr. Giggles in the house. Today is your Monday daily 1 o'clock. Well, it's supposed to be 1 o'clock, but 1:30 show. Hopefully you can hear me. I think you can. Hey, what's up, Zach? What's up, Charles? What's up, everybody? And as I looked before, unless we dropped a couple subscribers along the way, we should be at 900, 9 something. So thank you guys to everybody that's subscribing on YouTube and all that. I feel like, you know, we're getting some headway, especially based on what I was trying to do. And it's really nice. So I'm just double checking, make sure I'm not got a foot in the mouth. No, we're at 901, so that's good. 901, we keep growing. I mean, I wish it was thousands and thousands, but we're not. We're there. We're getting there. We're almost at 1,000. I'm happy about that. Thank you guys for, partaking and doing all that. You know, it's really cool that people do that. I don't know. But yeah, so what we're going to do is later on, I'm going to make the video, go through the subscriber list, throw a name, find out what the numbered thing, see who it is, and we'll post a video of who's the winner of the mystery box. We'll get that puppy shipped out to you ASAP. For those that have no idea what I'm talking about, every time we hit a subscriber milestone, which is basically like every 50. It's just a thank you of, subscribing and, until we get to 1,000. So we have one for 900, 950, and 1,000. We got these big mystery boxes, and it's full of cool amusement park memorabilia, stuff from parks, stuff from media days, stuff from coaster events, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Sometimes there's haunt stuff in it. Sometimes there's theme park stuff, T-shirts. There's all kinds of crazy junk in them that I had doubles and triples of because of the kids, so we give them out. I figure instead of them sitting in a box or hitting the trash, give them to people that appreciate it, and it's a thank you just for, subscribing, hanging out with us. That's what it is. So thank you guys again for helping us reach 900, and there'll be a video coming out probably tomorrow or Wednesday. Because and speaking of videos coming out, before we dive into any type of news, I remember the hard drive I kept telling everybody about finding. I had stuff, and I didn't really. And thank you, Charles. I didn't know it was really on a hard drive. And I found a lot of stuff we've never posted before. I'm talking about old Norristas. What I used to do is I used to just edit them together and play them on the Grove Show and never upload them. So I think today one of them came out. Which one came out today? One of them came out today. Let me see. What is it? What did I have? Oh, so today's video was what theme parks will look like. I was talking about that earlier in the week. Monday, Nor'easter from 2011 is coming out, and I was listening to it, and they talk about Mr. Six still in the marketing, and it's cool. I don't want to give it away, but check it out. I also found Nor'easter videos from 2013. I also found on-ride video Yosemite Sam's Golden River Adventure at Six Flags Over Texas. I found the walkthrough of Casa Magnetica that no longer exists there. So I mean, it's crap. Some of it's really crappy quality. It was done on a crappy cell phone back in them days. So I apologize in advance about that. This whole slew of stuff that I found on this hard drive just by, I got Knobel's 2015 East Coaster off-season event presentation when they're talking about Impulse. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I've been going through and just editing and getting it out there just for something extra. I know some of it's New England stuff, this Canopy Lake Compounds, Nor'easter stuff from 2013. So whatever I can find, I'm finding a lot of photos I've never uploaded from trips that we're gonna, edit and get up for people to look at, parks in the back, from back when, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff that I've found. I don't know. It's in Alex says, what's your overall goal for the channel? Do you want to branch out or keep it? I want to keep it similar, but branching out. That's why we play Planet Coaster, and we, if you look through the playlist, there's theme park visits, and there's stuff for New England parks. There's stuff for all the haunted house stuff moved over to the Hauntapalooza channel. And branching out is like Hauntapalooza, and then other, I want to talk with other New England fan sites just to, there's enough room for everybody because everybody does something different. I'm not here trying to, I'm not trying to be the kingpin. I'm not trying to be better than anybody. I like doing the Grove Show. I like doing Planet Coaster. I like doing the Planet Coaster Grove Show edition. And just videos. I mean, right now we're pretty much stuck on what we have because nothing's open yet. Things will start opening. And I can't wait. You know what? I would love to ask everybody this. Like, the day that a park opens, like you have an opening date, say June 20th, I don't know. Just say June 20th was an opening date. I'm not saying it is. Don't say I'm saying parks open on June 20th. I'm just using this as an example. Well, we can make that. We can make one about each chain. We could do one about Disney. We could do one about Six Flags, Cedar Fair, other parks. If that's what people want, if somebody gives me an idea, and I got to talk with Cody because we were supposed to talk like a week or two ago about an idea, and we never did it. So I need to talk to him about doing that. But again, if there's ideas that people want to see a video or my take on, by all means, let me know. I'll write it down. We'll get it done. You may like it, you may not. It's just, like I said, SFNEOnline is a community. It's not, I know it's mostly me right now, and I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get other people that want to contribute. And people do contribute. People contribute articles, or if I'm filming a video, like in a park, and they're in it if they want to be it, or whatever. And that's, by all means, I want it to be, I don't want it just my stupid face. I'm working on a lot of things in the behind the scenes to get even regular viewers to get on the show. We're just working on different things. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been on the Kings Island drop tower. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've been there. Kings Dominion drop tower, the last visit I had during con, I rode it. It was pretty cool. I don't remember Kings Islands. And then Max is like, oh, when do you think you'll make it to 1K subs? When we make it to 1K subs is when we do. You know what I'm saying? It depends. Here's what it depends on. It depends on if enough people like the content to subscribe. Number two, people sharing videos. When you go out of your way to share a video, say Charles has 500 friends on his friend list. I don't know if he does, but say he does. And say he takes this right now, shares it, and 2 people out of 500 come in. Well, I mean, that's not a good ratio, but those 2 people came. Maybe they stick around and want to do it. I mean, that's what happens. The more you share something, the more people come into it. And Alex thought about having help. I would love helpers in every state that want to contribute something. I have nothing against that. I know we're kind of stuck in a sense of this is SFNEOnline, Six Flags New England Online. Yes, it's mainly a fan site for Six Flags New England, but we do cover all things New England. Period. Anything really like in New York, New Jersey, and the New England states, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Mass, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. We cover all that because most people just want to go to Six Flags, or they want to go to Lake Compounce, or they want to go to Great Adventure, or Disney, or Kings Island, etc. On and on, Cedar Point, everything. And that's fine. And my whole goal from when I started doing the Grove Show, and then when I took over SFNEOnline, my whole goal was, yes, we're going to cover everything that everybody comes here for. But we're also going to cover other stuff. Is something that I want to be able to show and experience. There's a lot of people out there that don't have money to travel all the time. I mean, I don't have money to travel all the time, especially now when nothing's open. But some people have thanked me for some vlog videos or showing off a park because they're like, you know what? I was thinking about it. I didn't, you can only see so much online, but seeing it come alive in a video, just seeing things and walking around and seeing stuff that you don't get to see actually help people decide where to go, whether it was a park out in New England or a park out in California or a park out in Texas or Florida or wherever the hell we were and did something. So I'm not opposed to expanding. I mean, the main bread and butter is always and will always be Six Flags New England and the New England parks. That's what people always entrusted us with, and that's what we do. I mean, I know there's New England connoisseur pages, there's SFNE Ultimate, and I know people from those sites and stuff, very good people. I have nothing bad to say about any of them. Nothing. And like Theme Park New England and everybody. I have no problem with any of them. And if they want to, if we all one day want to collab together or whatever, I'm down. I'm not a douchey canushi, as they would say, And Ryan says, I read CNN news and is worse. Second wave virus is a fake news. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I've never been to Six Flags over Georgia. My kids have with their mom. They took them on a road trip and, I mean, if I could get there, by all means, I would get there and go. My kids, when they went with their mother 2 or 3 years ago when they went, they said it was a nice park. It rained. Some rides weren't open. They said, hey, Dad, you need to take us back again to go again. And then I can get my shot going. So I do want to go to Georgia and check that out. I mean, like I said, I was supposed to go to Six Flags St. Louis, but that this year in this trip got messed up because of the virus. So yeah, Bob's a nice guy. I've talked to him many, 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 many times. He's a nice guy. And you know what I notice? It's a trend. The older guys like myself and Bob and other people that that might what do you call it? That do these sites, seem to be, I'm not saying everybody, but for the majority of people I dealt with, are a lot nicer than the younger kids that are running the fan sites. And they get, when they get popular, they get an ego, and then they start tripping out and acting like an ass. That's what you got to watch out for. And I see it all the time. I'm not saying, guys, adults, older adults that run fan sites that have been running since they were younger. So again, that's where I like to, Vaccine might be coming this year and early next year. My advice, and I know people are scared, is do not touch the vaccine until it's had its 12 months to 18 months. Proper just do. I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. For myself, just because of health reasons, I can't. Because of what's in. I mean, I know they do make them without shellfish, but most of them have shellfish, and I would not take it just because it would really mess me up. So, again, if you want to take it and it makes you feel safe, by all means. But I'm very leery of a product like that coming out. So I know in today's world, technology's better, technology's different, but I just look at it as a bowl, a vial of poison. Because if you think about it, it hasn't been properly tested. And I know people are looking for a savior and something so that they feel comfortable going out in public. I get it. You may rush to do it and maybe nothing happens to you. Or maybe you rush to it and you get messed up and die. Nobody knows. You need proper 3 stages of testing before I think it's 3. Could be 2 or 3. I just know off the top of my head, any vaccine that comes out needs its proper testing. When they test it, with different things. Then they, with the vaccine. Then they test it on animals. Then they test it on people. And I read this article, and you guys should check it out. How many of you are familiar with Motley Fool? I'm sure a lot of you that follow stocks, especially in the theme park world, a lot of, and non-theme park, depending upon, how you invest. An article popped up yesterday. Well, I read it yesterday. I don't know if that's the data. I didn't check the data came out. But everybody's been talking about Disney opening in 2021, not opening in 2020 at all. That's just a rumor. Disney won't confirm or deny anything going on. So they said 3 reasons why. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hang on, let me look at this real quick. Because it makes sense. And it makes sense. 3 reasons. There we go. This is it. It came out a day ago. It's 3 reasons Disney World will open this summer. Let's go to number 1. Well, reason number 1. There will never be a right time to open. It says, let's start by pointing out that there will probably never be a risk-free window for the House of Mouse to unlock its turnstiles. A vaccine is at least a year away, and even when it's mass-produced in the billions, will it be enough to cover possible mutations? In short, there isn't a business out there that will wait for complete eradication before attempting to get it going. Saying Orlando's in surprisingly good shape. New coronavirus cases have declined for 4 consecutive weeks. The counter to good news is that the cases will spike as shelter-in-place restrictions are eased, but that same argument holds if Disney World reopens in a couple of weeks or months or possibly even years. And this is talking about the parks will open when the safeguards are in place to reasonably test visitors, employees on the way. And it says, waiting until next year would be safer, but with the global economy rocked and the local economy gutted, who will visit Disney World then? Who will even be around to work at Disney World? And it says number 2, smaller attractions will force Disney's hand. Southeastern states are taking a more aggressive position in restarting their local economies. Regional parks are offering a mid-May to early June as timelines for their attractions to reopen, and while no one should be surprised to see those dates get pushed out again, eventually somebody's going to blink. Disney World and Disneyland were the first major park operators to announce they were closing down, and the industry followed suit. It's a strong bet that it won't be Disney leading the next dance. Someone else will open first, and once the negative headlines get swatted away, the rest of the industry will follow, and if we don't see a spike in new cases. Then, reason 3, Disney can dictate the pace. Since Disney World isn't just going to flip the switch and everything will be business as usual, it can open gradually, and there's already chatter that it may limit in-park visitors to folks staying at one of its resort hotels, its most lucrative customers, or allow just in-state or even local visitors at first. It can limit its hours of operation, given the limited attendance levels. It can also choose not to open all of its parks, perhaps rotating the schedule. Of course, that means the experience won't be the same. Queues will need to be restructured. Buffet restaurants, character meet and greet stations, and many of its signature parade shows and nighttime celebrations aren't likely to go live right away. So, I mean, there's still a little bit more, but those were the 3 reasons. I mean, if you want, what I'm going to do, if you want to read the full article, let's post it here. And I will put it right here. If you want to read that article, just to see more than what I was saying. So if you want, you can look at that. So look, at the end of the day, and today was the first day that we've seen this in Rhode Island, when the governor was on, that there's a plan to reopen, different phases and all that stuff. And let me tell you something. I know I have an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of viewers are scared, and that's fine. And I'm not ragging on you or talking trash or think you're stupid or whatever. Well, that might not be true. I think anybody that's running scared right now needs to reevaluate. And I understand. Hear me out before you tune out. Hear my side of it. And like I said, I don't mean any disrespect to anybody, but it's just my mentality. I went out to Lowe's on Saturday. So I'm like, oh, it's probably going to be, dead like usual. No. And the same thing was yesterday, same thing today. It's like a pandemic is not going on at all. People on social distancing. I wouldn't... if I had to bet money due to COVID-19, does Goliath run again at the park because of his problem? Need to cut You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that ride doesn't reopen. It's maintenance. They're not going to spend money on it. I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't open this year at all. Don't be surprised. Anyway, so my thinking is this: they're doing a phase opening, right? They're doing it across. What is the phase gonna? There's no difference. In reality, I feel people's brains have been duped just because of what makes it so much safer to go to Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, a restaurant, even in a takeout setting, versus just staying home. Everybody's going out. A mask doesn't really 100% stop anything. You can still get sick from it. They're finding out with antibody tests that way more people have this disease than is actually reported. They're saying in New York City alone, it's over 2 million people. Not what it is. So what you're finding out is a lot of people already had it. You didn't have symptoms. You didn't get sick. Maybe you got sick earlier or whatever. There are repercussions for reopening. That's why they're doing phase. They're not turning the switch on. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I already put it in my mind that we may or may not. They may have, you see the supposed White House footage with them talking about the virus that have already taken a vaccine, maybe fake but seems legit. It could be. Nobody knows. I don't trust most sources out there. Well, I don't trust mainstream media. Period. I don't trust the local news. I don't even trust the government at this moment because it's just too much real and fake news out there. No, here's the problem. Nobody knows. So, I don't know, the way I look at it is you can't keep this current situation going for 12 to 18 months. You can't. Because if we do, there's going to be worse implications versus, you know what I mean? Like, think about this. Say they decide, you know what, we're not doing the phases. This is going crazy. They stop phase 1, things go bad. And they go, that's it, we're staying 12 to 18 months. You're going to see a lot of theme parks disappear. Ones that were, in decent, financial situation to make it through this. Even the small mom and pop. You're going to see a lot of them just poof, gone. See you later. A lot of businesses you like to go to, poof, gone. See you later. Which is going to have a way bigger repercussion. Say 60,000 people at the end died, even if you took off the restrictions, right? And then say you don't take away the restrictions, and then 1 million people ended up dying. People go hungry. People can't get to the, I think I said last week, I saw the article and I read the article about New York. I think at least in New York State, New York City has a no resuscitation rule. If they find a person unresponsive, they still be allowed to spend 20 minutes. And now in New York, it's don't even bother. We don't want them in the hospital. We ain't got the room. Forget it. But that was an article from an actual, I forgot if it was CNN or Washington Post or something. It was one of those. It was a mainstream media. The article somehow got through my blocking filters of everything, and that's what happens. And like I said, I'm not saying open the floodgates and let everybody do it, but I'm also be leery, be a little cautious, question everything, use your own common sense, use your own judgment. Like I said, if you have an underlying condition, you don't feel safe, and you wait for a vaccine, by all means, please stay home. We don't want to see you get sick or dead. Just in case, stay home. If you're afraid, same thing, stay home. We don't want people out there that are worried and then coming down on someone like myself or other people that want to get back to life. We should be able to get back to life if we want to. If you don't want to, that is fine. Stay home. I'm sure that they'll have some monetary thing to help you out. I mean, after your unemployment runs out, go get TDI. Go, you know what I mean? Be like, hey, I'm whatever. I can't work. I'm nervous. I'm scared. This is crazy. I'm not. I'm sure there's going to be something for those people. And like I said, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. You do what you got to do. We all want to get back to parks, right? You, and you. We all want to get back to parks. Some are going to be cautious. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I'm not trying to be a douche to anybody, but at some point, something's got to give. Something has to give. Are there any other rides in the park that have been maintenance problems at the park? Yeah, there's a few, actually. Alex, there's actually a few. Crime Wave is one. Goliath is another. What else do we see down a lot? I know Gotham City Gauntlet goes down quite a bit. For the most part, it's pretty reliable. But I see that go down a lot. I don't want to drink that coffee. That's an old one. Well, let's think about this. What do you guys think? Besides Goliath, Flashback is another one that has a lot of issues. I did not cover that. And I probably should. I didn't see anything. I just know that the original date, I believe, was canceled. I haven't heard nothing because I didn't plan to go this year, because it's around Memorial Day and so let's see what I'm clicking on it now. Well, the website is still saying, what do you call it? The original dates. It's probably on... All right. Hang on. Give me a second here. Where did you see the news for this? I'm just looking. Let's go here. Let's take a... Oh. Also, we're going to find out if there is a con on by Wednesday. It's crazy. Like, we just don't know. Oh, that's season pass holders. I'm not a season pass holder. Let me look at this. I'm just looking to see what's... This one, Holiday World. How do I get to... Oh, here we go. I found it. All right, here we go. Let's see what they say. Okay, just give me a second. And I could probably look at the chat and find out. Oh, so it was on there. Okay. Blizzard River. I think... Yeah, so I guess based off of that, they're going to release all... You know what I mean? They're going to do that. You know what about the 2021 editions, man? Don't hold any hope for that. Look, we all want to see new attractions, and look, see what they did. They got everybody like, oh, new attraction, new attraction. One, most likely you are not getting a new attraction for 2021. Well, here's the thing. Parks are not going to get new attractions if they're not paid for. That's a good idea. Hey, Alex, are we friends on Facebook? I don't know if you have Facebook. If not, hit me up and we can talk on Facebook, or hit me up on SFNEOnline's Facebook. and hit me up and we can chit chat. Or if you know my personal Facebook, because everybody, if you find mine's Joshua Martins, Martins, and then the picture is you can see my icon picture, me, Jessica, Jeremy, and Insane Clown Posse. That's us. I have no problem if you want to message me or whatever. By all means, do that. But I don't care. If you want, just message me on that. We can talk some video ideas. And anybody who gives me an idea, I'm giving them full credit for it. Or if they do it, whatever. So, not, a lot of people are like, don't bother me. I don't care. I'm either going to talk to you or ignore you for a little bit and re-get you or wwhatever. It depends on my mood. Usually I always get right back to everybody. But sometimes if I'm not in the mood to talk, and people will know, I'll read it and not say anything. Don't take offense to it, because it's just maybe at that minute I'm doing something or don't feel like talking to somebody. But I'll always get back to you. And Pete Flaherty sent me about Con. We should know about that. And here's my guess. I'm guessing that there probably won't be a Costa Con. A lot of people that booked hotels, canceled hotels, a lot of people kind of like, I don't know. I mean, if we can go, people will go. I just don't know what's going to happen. I would like to go. And if there is a Costa Con, I'm probably going to go. I'm probably not going to take the kids because it's stupidly expensive this year. And it's not, just because of the fact that I want some fun. I mean, if there's a Costa Con, that means everything's opening up and I may just skip Con and go do something else. Or this would be the first con in a while that I wouldn't attend the business meeting, because there would be I'm not going to waste my time. I'll go ride rides or go do something. I don't really care. And I wouldn't do the banquet because I've learned a very valuable lesson. For me, it's not worth it. That's me, I'm not a fancy food person. I'm not a dress-up kind of guy. I don't like it, don't care. And that's fine. So, and a lot of people love the banquets. Some people hate the banquets. It's just an unneeded, unwarranted, unwanted cost. I just like going and doing my thing, I just want to go ride rides, have fun. That's it. That's all I want to do. I don't really care too much about other items, But that's just me. That's just my mentality. Yeah, Charles, basically what you're doing with Diamond Elite is you're already basically paying Cedar Fair pricing. The other passes need to come up. They do. I know what... we can all say that Six Flags is like the dollar store, the Walmart of theme parks. I think we can all agree on that, I think, right? I think we can. And see, right now, theme parks are not going to... Right at the beginning, they're not going to jack the prices up. They need to suck the people back in. Is what they need to do. So if they could, do that, they have no choice. You have to stop giving away the gate. The gate is where you make the most money. Look, I remember in the off-season meetings that I've had numerous. This is the first year we haven't had one. We can't even. I could do they're not even really working, so that's not going to happen. That's why the interview. That interview that we're going to have is basically like a mini off-season meeting is basically what that is this year to keep it kind of going. So I feel if you can... Six Flags definitely needs to change their model. They do. They definitely need to change what they do because obviously... Since they came out of bankruptcy in 2010, they were doing great with debt, doing great with getting attendance in, but the money just wasn't adding up. They were just giving away the gate. hoping that people would spend money on food, spend money on T-shirts and collectibles and whatever that they sold, snacks and different little, get a flash pass, get a this, get a that, da da dee, da da da, and and then it didn't work. It backfired. Because here's the problem: parks nickel and dime you for every penny that's in your wallet, in your pocket. It's not working. People don't want to be nickel and dimed. I'll give you an example, and I'm sure some of you can agree to this. The best place that I've been that I felt comfortable, I don't feel like I'm in a total place, is Knoebels. It's one of the best places. I don't feel nickel and dimed. Obviously, Six Flags is not going to do that business model, but it works for Knoebels. It wouldn't work for Six Flags. Maybe it could. I don't know. But basically, the business model is you can either buy tickets or you can buy a day pass. There's no season pass. If you want to go use that big giant swimming pool, it's like $6-8 or something for the day. They got a couple water slides. Not a water slide or two. Nothing crazy. Nothing great. It's just how there's not, they have games, you can play games, like at a regular theme park. It's just the whole atmosphere, and everybody's laid back and nice, and it's not, hey, do this, da, 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 da. Nobody's heckling you to play a game. You want to play a game, you walk up, you play the game.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Well, I didn't ask you to. Watch. So, again, there's a lot of stuff. And Knoebels has amazing gift shops. They really do. The gift shops, and I agree. And I'll tell you this. When I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain, Knott's Berry Farm, and Disneyland in January, thank God, because if the parks don't open, I can at least say I rode some rides this year. All three gift shops in the parks sucked. I was actually shocked that Disneyland's gift shop sucked. Everybody knows me. I am a sucker for buying T-shirts and collectibles, memorabilia, all that stuff. I'm a sucker for it. If I see something and I like the price, I'll buy it. The pay one price makes it more secure based off the Indiana Beach. It does. That's why I like Knoebels. Well, Knoebels model is also different too. During the season, the season, the main summer season, on weekends, it's tickets only, and that place is packed. I've rolled up there on a Sunday afternoon. Ride lines weren't crazy packed, but the park was packed. They were making a killing on food and hanging out, and families are going on rides. They're buying books of tickets. But again, Knoebels is different than a Six Flags. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just different. And what Knoebels does works for them. And obviously what Six Flags is doing right now isn't working. And it needs to be all around. It needs a better model. And it can be done. I'm not saying that all models are perfect. I'm sure Knoebels has issues with what they got. 1. 2, the pricing structure needs to change. But when you go to Knoebels, the food prices are not crazy. They're not anywhere near they're significantly less. Like, you can go to the International restaurant place, the outdoor place. You can go get in the mornings breakfast, get a whole tray of food for like $7. Pancakes, sausage, toast, juice or milk or coffee and eggs and pancake, whatever. They got it and it's good. It's a good amount. I never finish it. But again, the burgers are like $6-7 and the fries were a few bucks. You know what I mean? You might spend $10 for a burger, a fry, and a soda. And that's really, I find that's a sweet spot, because when you look at that place, all the food joints are busy. They're not empty. Same thing. Six Flags has a problem because now they have dining. You know what I mean? They have a dining pass, so you get, depending upon your pass, but the one, I got member dining, I get a lunch, a dinner, and a snack. Plus I get the cup. So what I think they should be doing is honestly get rid of the dining plan. Hear me out before you crucify me. But allow, what do you call it? Allow the memberships to maintain their discounts. So whatever one you get, whatever tier you get and whatever discount you get on food, that's what you get. You'll find that people will get food, more food. And yes, Alex, the too many parks, the new ride a year per park should go away. I mean, we've had this discussion a million times here, and we'll have a million more until we find out what Six Flags decides to do to try to change it to make it better. Look, remember what I said? I even said this Friday with Jerry Brick. Jerry Brick will tell you things, but he won't tell you everything. He's not gonna like when it came to the Venus flytrap, and we were, talking, and he wouldn't tell me what it was, but he was hinting at things, and like other things. He told me what their budget for rides from that company are every year. And he takes that money, instead of doing it every year, he goes, I want to get this attraction or that attraction instead of doing it. And I think that's probably a better way to go about it. Every 2 to 3 years, get an attraction. In today's world and the way things are, the people are coming to the parks. You want an escape. You're coming whether there's a new attraction or not. Not having a new attraction might make you go somewhere else, but you're still going to a park. You're not just going to sit home. You're going to go to your favorite parks regardless. Now, if you want to keep continuously going when a new cool ride comes, like Wicked Cyclone, everybody and their mother was there all the time. Harley Quinn, same thing. Cyborg, not as much. Joker was, all right, not as much. But as they get better and better attractions, more and more people are going to be like, yes. You know what I mean? You got to follow the money. Now, I think getting a ride every other year or every 2 to 3 years is the right way to go. The years that you're not getting an attraction, use that for maintenance. Use that to make your buildings look better. Add some more flowers and other stuff. Actually save that money so you can do some proper theming, not what we call the cardboard cutouts, with just a metal tin sign of a superhero or whatever the hell they're doing. That's what they need to do. Whether they do that or not, that's up to them. And I think the roost is going to come to roost. And I think they're seeing that now, because like when they look at the fourth quarter before all this pandemic crap happened, they were seeing attendance rise. Very little bit of money rise in terms of spending per person. Why? Things cost too much. It costs a lot of money. Look at me. I pay, for me and my two boys, for a diamond. All three of us have a diamond elite. That's like, with member dining, that's $70-something a month. Not too bad, but still, when you paid outright for a pass, 60, 70 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever. I remember I was able to get a pass a few years ago, in 2015 actually. I was able to get a season pass for like $35 because of a hookup that I received. But again, you need to, the prices of the passes need to go up. Diamond Elite is fine right where it is. I mean, it could go up a little bit more, but I get it. They should get rid of membership dining. You just have a discount for your passes. Well, Alex, as much as that sounds, the leases, they're not going to get rid of. It's going to be a pickle and cost them a lot of money to get out of. So they're going to be with those. St. Louis, maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. I don't know. I think that they shouldn't buy anything. And maybe in a couple years, they'll probably sell some stuff off. Great Escape is a no-brainer for them to keep. We've talked about that last week. Minimal investment. They make enough money. They're not going broke on it. It's not sucking up money because they're not spending money. They're not spending big money. They're spending little money. And they don't get always big, huge attractions. Sometimes they don't even get an attraction at all. Usually it's mostly water park because that's where everybody goes. I wouldn't be surprised if they start ripping out dry park to make wet park rides. You know what I mean? As I'm sure that they got a laundry list of rides that are maintenance nightmares that might be near the water park, they go, you know what? Let's get rid of that water park. Let's get rid of that water park. Because the water park for them is the driving source of income. So if you have the water park, that's where you come into it. I know the dry park gets people in it. Sometimes it's busy. Sometimes it's not. Just depends on the day. I know we all like, hey, let's go and get rid of some stuff. Hey, what's up, Craig? There's a lot of things you could do. And right now, what they should do, and I've said this a million times, take all together, all the parks. America was briefly only a water park in the early 90s. I don't remember that. Why? What happened in the early 90s? I don't remember. What? I don't remember that about. Well, technically, Great Escape isn't New England market. That's New York. So that's technically not considered the New England market, though they can draw people in from New England to it. Yeah, Cedar Fair wants parks with hotels. If Six Flags was smart, they would start opening up hotels. It's almost a surefire way to get that extra income. Even if people aren't staying in to go to the park, they're staying at the hotel. People always stay at a hotel. Once things get better. That's really the only. That's one of the saving graces for Cedar Fair. Cedar Point has them. King's Dominion has one right outside it that's not owned by them that I know of. Carowinds building them or built them. I don't know who else is in the works of getting hotels. Oh, Canada's Wonderland is. They're going to keep putting hotels over by their parks as time goes on. Hey, what's up, Grobble? So again, when you got to figure out. Yeah, Great Adventure was supposed to get a hotel. I wouldn't be surprised though if Great Adventure does at some point get one. They need it. They need. It was actually only in 1984 they changed their minds when they acquired Wild One, which was because of Phoenix. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, hotels are a big upfront cost, but I think. Oh, I'm an idiot, Lindsay. I just figured out my mistake. But Great Adventure. Great Adventure can use one, and I think over time they're going to get rid of that safari. As animals die and there's less and less and stuff, they're not, because if you notice, they haven't totally invested in much of the in terms of the safari. They're not all they did was they took out cars driving through it, and they have their own safari trucks. Now, as those animals die and all that, and there's less and less. I mean, they have. I mean, unless they can find sanctuaries for these animals to go to right away, they're staying until they all die off. Hey, what's up, J Kite? And they may get rid of some and send them to some sanctuaries. They might, and then they can utilize that land for more theme park. But first, fix what you got and invest and expand in the right way. One of the next things that Great Adventure should do, instead of getting a new ride, get a new hotel. Things can, if you took everything they got between water park, Six Flags, I'm talking, everything from water park, leases, dry parks, all that, whatever they have, split it down the middle. Or spread it into 4s or 3s or whatever. However you want to split it. One year, this group gets an attraction. The next year, the next group gets an attraction. The next year, the next group gets, you know what I mean? And just alternate it that way. You don't need, they don't need, they don't need to keep continuing on the path that they're going on. They need to just change it. They don't need rides every yeah, they don't. Yeah, Great Adventure. Gravel says Great Adventure really has not many hotels nearby. Part of that, I heard, is a town or a pain, and people in the area don't want them. It sucks, and I get it. I mean, Great Adventure can put the hotel right on property. You know what I'm saying? They should just do that. Well, 22 could be a major addition depending upon how this year and next year goes. If they start getting back on footing and things start going back and back, they could. And like I've been saying since this pandemic's been going on, that the next year and a half, from when they open for the next year or so, is about building the trust over profit. If they worry crazily about going for profit and going crazy, they will fail. People won't come. People want to feel safe. They're gonna want. See, what's gonna happen is whenever they announce an opening day and then people go, I don't think opening day is gonna be like a crazy packed day. I just don't think so. It's probably gonna be reminiscent of a regular opening day, maybe that. And people out there before they go are gonna be watching YouTube videos of people going to the parks and what it's like and going live on social media. People are going to be watching it. I mean, the day that there's an announcement, I don't care if it's the same day that the first day that my work goes back to working, I'm going to the park. Already told all my coworkers. I said, if that happens, I'm going to the park. You guys can have a day without me. I'm like, I got to go. I'm like, because I'm going to record video. I'm going to record a vlog of the first day back to parks. Also, number 2, I will go live because I want people to see what it's like in the park so you can determine whether to come or not the next day or whatever day. No, I 100% with you. I agree with you 100%, Grovel. Completely 100% agree with you. You gotta get everything going. You gotta fix things up. There's a lot of maintenance issues. I say, I'm telling you, anything that's a major pain in the ass, maintenance, like a Goliath or whatever, get rid of it. Just shut it down. Get it out. I know people don't want to see empty spaces, but I say get rid of the space, find a new ride. Stop the ride rotation program back up as well. If you know what I mean, on certain, I'm not saying the maintenance nightmares. I'm just saying maybe it's not a popular ride. It's not that bad. Let's ship it off. Yeah, they're not. They're not gonna. I don't think they'll ever RMC Thunderbolt. It's a classic. The park. That's the only park's wood coaster. I don't see that. If anything, I probably see it getting ripped down before it gets RMC, to be truthfully honest. But it's a decent wood little. It's not a top 10 Woody, but it's still a Woody. It's a nice ride, and I don't see them doing anything with it anytime soon. Just keep doing their maintenance to it. Retrack, whatever. That's what I see. Let me see here. I think here in Texas it'll be crazy when both Fiesta and SeaWorld opens back up. Jay, I don't know. I'm kind of like in the middle. Like, nobody knows because there's a lot of people that are like, most of us want to get back out and do things. There's so much, you know what I mean? It could go either way. There's a lot of people that look at us that want to get to it and go, hey, stay home. I don't want to die. Because you want to go to the park and spread the germs. Okay, why do I got to stay home? Because you're afraid. I die, not you. You stay home, I don't die. I mean, you don't die. I would. So who cares? I mean, I don't want to die either, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. And if you want to go to the park, go to the park. If you don't want to go to the park, don't go to the park. I don't know what to tell you. I just, like I said, I don't like people telling me how to live and how I should live and when I should leave my house and not leave my house. If I want to leave my house, I'm going to leave my house. If I want to go out and do something, I'm going to do it. I really don't care. New England is not going to be getting a B&M anytime soon. Maybe, I'm not saying never, but not anytime soon. New England will not get another. They cost too much money. Cost way too much money at this moment to be doing it. Unless they could come out with a cheap version of something, it ain't gonna happen. So what else? What else? There's a lot of. Do you think parks will reopen regionally, like one at a time? Gavin, this is what I think is gonna happen. Because think about it, this Six Flags New England in Mass. There is also Edaville Railroad in Mass. Then in Connecticut, you got Quasi. You got what do you call it? They got Connecticut's got Quasi and Lake Compounds. Maine's got Palace Playland, and they got Funtown Splashtown. They got that little weird zoo that I don't know if it's open or not. Gonna open or not. New Hampshire has Canopy Lake and Santa's Village and Storyland. So it's going to be based on what do you call it? They're going based off of the state. So they're probably not going to all open up at once. They're probably going to be staggered just based off of what that state believes. Like today when the governor in Rhode Island said about the reopening phase, they don't start the reopening phase until, what, May 9th or something like that? As long as there's not a spike in cases in 2 weeks, then they have a phase 1, then a phase 2, then a phase 3. Bada bing, bada boom. So we'll see what's going on. So again, Rhode Island doesn't have any theme parks. There was that, we did have a coaster at Atlantic Beach Park down by the beaches, and they got rid of their coaster. They got the carousel that has the original Rocky Point wooden horses on it. They got a bumper car track, some kiddie rides, but it's literally like in a little tiny parking lot. Yeah, and I liked X-Flight. You know, I really enjoyed X-Flight at Great America. And yes, who was saying that? Somebody was saying, is that you, Grobble? Yep. Six Flags also has some parks with redundancy. Several parks have 2 pendulum rides. Six Flags New England. The new Zamparella Discovery and the old stuff. Six Flags Great America has 2 flumes, and old flumes are a maintenance pit. Yeah, I mean, there are companies making new flumes. Like if I had money, say like I had won that $1 billion a couple years ago from Powerball, and I was like, hey, I'm going to open a park. I would put a new flume ride in. I would make my flume ride badass. It would have tunnels and theming and stuff like that. Yeah, no B&M. I mean, they could afford the X-Flight. X-Flight was what, 8, 9, 10 million, something like that. I could see them going with that. B&M might make a push, cut a little deal if they wanted to clone those bad boys out. Because it's a popular coaster. When I went there, it was full. I agree, Batman clone destroys it. But X-Flight is fun if it's done right. Yeah, I mean, in your state, June 1st, I don't know I don't even know if Massachusetts has a, let's see. I'm just looking. There's no. I don't think Massachusetts has its plans yet. Let me see. Mass stay at home date. What was that I just saw? Oh. back. Let's see. I'm just looking. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to. So May 4th. So far as, unless they extended it, I don't know. When was this article? Oh, that was from the 31st. May 4th as of the 31st. I don't know, when they plan to reopen, what it is, but... Oh, 12 to 4. I mean, that's still in their realm of affordability. And hear me out on this. Even if there is no new attraction for 2021, but the parks are open, in a weird but unfortunate, crazy kind of way, just be thankful that the parks are reopened. I mean, we all want new attractions. We all want to see new coasters. We all want to see things, but 2021 could really be the year that they really kind of kick into gear and kick up the maintenance. Because if you look at all the parks across the board, and every chain needs it, they keep reopening all these rides. They keep putting money into the stupid rides that cost a lot of money for maintenance. I mean, like, look at like a Wicked Twister at Cedar Point. That ride will be gone quicker than you think. Goliath is going to be gone. Flashback at New England is going to be gone. Crime Wave will be gone. That thing goes down every year, and they have to do crazy maintenance on it every year. They can go buy a brand new model and retheme it to the same thing, just an updated, newer model. They can get that. You know what I mean? They keep spending all this money on Crime Wave. Yes, it's an original Riverside ride. People will be pissed. But at the end of the day, the park's got to save money. And it's better just to buy a brand new model that's reliable and just do that. I mean, it's kind of, again, a redundant, 2 swing rides, but there are people that will not touch New England Sky Screamer no matter what. They're like, I ain't doing it. It's over 400 feet tall ride. Even though you're not that tall on the swings, people just not having it. They look up and they go, nope, ain't doing that. So, and when you look at, I mean, there's a bunch of rides I can look at Great Adventure that could probably go. There's old rides. I mean, if you think about maintenance nightmares, look at King Dakar and Top Thrill Dragster. I wouldn't be surprised if those eventually go. I'm not saying soon, but soon enough, because the hydraulics, the motors, everything costs a lot of money on them rides. They break down often. They're not reliable, and they go down more often than not. They do. So you got to, take a look at that. If the company, the short term, they're going to be looking at rides that are costing them a big amount of money. Oh, even some newer. Look at Cyborg at Great Adventure. That thing has problems all the time. I'm not saying that they're not, I'm not saying that new rides aren't susceptible to it. But that's why nobody's buying those rides, because they know that they have a problem. I think at first they're going to be reducing the staff because they're not going to have a choice. And what I mean by that is some parks have hired people, like Magic Mountains, George's. I mean, they've hired people at all the parks. They would do, as they were getting ready to open, the pandemic hit. So they were doing job fairs. They were trying to get everything going. And the next thing you know, poof, it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, this just happens. Now, the drop tower is popular at New England. They're not going to get rid of that. That suits their needs perfectly fine. That is not going anywhere. Unless there's like a catastrophic failure on it. It ain't going nowhere. But I think the staff's going to be limited just because of the fact that when everybody got laid off, furloughed, they may have went and took another job and be like, you know what, I got this job, I'm good, I don't need to go to the park. They're going to be short-staffed because right now the borders are shut. They're not allowing workers to get those work visas right now. That's going to be a problem. But there's so many people out of work, you may get the staff you need now. You know what I mean? People are, if you're looking for work and you need a job, I would go work in a park. what space do I see for New England for expansion? Don't look, like on the other side of Batman, you can't. There's houses over there, and by law, they can't. Batman is the furthest point you can build. Nothing else over there. I mean, they probably could do water park, maybe. I don't know about that. One, I do see the preferred parking lot going away at some point for more water park. I don't know when that's going to be, but I do see that at some point. That's number one. Number two, I do see Blizzard River, Goliath, Flashback, Tomahawk, Rodeo, Houdini at some point going bye-bye. So, again, they're going to have to increase staff however they can. Yeah, some people like you, Zach, are going to be like, I want to work at the park. That's where I want to be. And until then, go, see you later. Like right now, I'm okay. They're not going to tear down Wicked Cyclone and Superman. Right now, down the road, yes. When it's past its life cycle, these coasters are not going to last forever. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Someday, Superman will be ripped down. It'll be a very sad day. We may see that in our lifetime. Same thing with Wicked Cyclone. Eventually, they all die. And then they just get something new. But like I said, Blizzard River sometime. But you could put the Power Splash over there. Maybe the one with the loop. Maybe the regular one. You could put that right there. I'm sure you could. It all depends upon where you put it. I'm sure it'll be okay. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It depends based on the Skyscreamer and the swing. They can't have that ride going where the swing's going to hit it. Flashback, Goliath, that whole Crack Axle Canyon area. Hear me now. I'm predicting this is going to get totally redone into a steampunk theme. And the reason for that is most kids today don't give two craps about the old Wild West. Most kids don't. They're into, newest, like a steampunk is one of those themes that's kind of come out and people love it. I mean, look at like Magic Mountain in their steampunk area, with Twisted Colossus and just the decorating that they've done around there, which was cool. I believe I uploaded pictures. I think I did. Yeah, no, I'm not saying run out with the pitchforks and torches like it's going to happen tomorrow. You probably got maybe 20 more years I'd say anywhere between 10 and 20 more years of Superman, depending upon how they maintain it. I'm not, I grew up in a time, I was born in 1978, so I grew up with cowboys and Indians, I grew up with that kind of, playing with it, doing it. I saw pictures from when I was a kid from all those photo albums I got from, a lot of you kids don't know what this stuff is. Yeah, steampunk area with a couple of Zamperella flats. It could be great. And I got an idea for this steampunk thing. So hear me out in a second, but I'm going to get my thought that I probably already forgot. I don't know, based on when you guys were born. I saw the pictures. I wish I could find it right now, but I can't. I had this cardboard teepee. I mean, you could buy teepees, cloth ones, cheap, crappy ones at Walmart, Target. But they had these awesome cardboard ones. I had a spaceship. I remember them. I had a teepee, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, playing with that as a kid. So I would always play with cowboys. And I can remember as a kid, I know they still do them. They have, like, the Indian festivals and stuff like that, and you can see all this different stuff the Indians did, on Indian reservations. So I had a headdress as a kid and all that. Like, it was cool stuff. So I can understand why a lot of kids today don't grow up with that. They're more into new age, whatever. It's steampunk. I just like that look. They incorporate the Dr. Plague masks and all the different things. Like if you look at in Universal in City Walk with the troublesome tooth, like the chocolate place, that's all steampunk themed, and it's cool. But again, not everybody's into that. But that whole steampunk thing is gonna it's something new that a lot of the younger generation, younger kids like, not all but most. When you look at people and you look on Instagram and you look on Facebook and when people see that stuff, they're like, oh, this is cool, I like this. So that's why I see like the times of the old Wild West dying out. It's just old history that people just don't care about. A lot of it comes along with a lot of stigma, what Americans, American, explorers did when they found America, and what they did to Indians and taking the land and killing them off and having a genocide. People are trying to get away from that. I mean, you can't get away from everything, but I can see, Yeah, Daredevil Dive is a steampunk ride, and it's got to be an awesome Zamperella ride. It's with the what we call the super air race. I mean, I've been dying for one of them. And I remember when AJ and I were talking to John Winkler some years ago when he first came in, and was like, you need one. Oh, we're looking at one. I think at some point one was in the works in the 5-year plan, and it might just got kicked down the can down for a little bit, Look, it's tough when it comes to rides. When you want to clone rides, it's very tough, and I get it. I really do. People are sick of clones. And like I said Friday, and I still haven't done it yet, is hit and reach out to manufacturers, and get innovative with old stuff that no longer is in any parks, bring it up to today's safety standards, or make a Frankenstein monster of a new flat, Yeah, Vekoma, but Gravel, don't fall into the Max B&M frenzy. He wants nothing but B&Ms out there and wants everything else gone. He's just a B&M freak, and that's okay. Just, we're not going to dig up everything just because you want to see a B&M everywhere. Nobody can afford it. Yeah, if it falls into that steampunk area. Now, here's some stuff that you could do and add, because I didn't get to that. I said I would. If you get rid of Crack Axle Canyon as a theme, and you retheme it to steampunk, you got to retheme all the buildings. It's not going to take too much of that, but you can do it. You could get, and now hear me out, you can get rid of Houdini, Tomahawk, and Rodeo up there. Get rid of Goliath. Bumper cars, they should just get new cars that work better, because those cars suck. JB's could be something else. Different restaurant theme to that. But you could get a new dock ride. We don't have a true dock ride. You get to shoot them up. They could be a steampunk themed thing. You're shooting at different steampunk robots or something. You can get a super air race up over there, and you can get like another one. Or take Kontiki, retheme it to steampunk, and just change the decoration and the building, and that's not, you could do it. It'll cost you a little money, but you could do it. And trust me, it'll revitalize that area, and you could do it. I mean, you could do one or two things with the flashback and Goliath spot. You could make a launch coaster hop over there, or you probably could fit a Raptor or maybe an Axis coaster over there, or some other new Vekoma coaster. I would love to see these new Vekoma coasters come in that that typically wouldn't come here. I would like to see not just Six Flags, but I would like to see the fair jump on this bandwagon and give it a whirl. You take one and you put it in. Right? You take one, you put it in one park. See how people react. See how reliable it is at that park. And if it works out, then you can start adding different variations of it. They'll probably clone it to get a deal, which is stupid. But that's different things that you can do. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do and have happen just to change it up. And I as much as I like the old Wild West theme. You know who does it the best? Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm does the old Wild West the best. That and Disney. But I think for not a Disney park, I think Knott's takes it. Knott's, when you look into their old western area that they got, it's beautiful. Theming is impeccable. It's like Disney level. I mean, I went on the Calico Mine ride. I couldn't go on the Flume. It was closed. They got a stagecoach ride. You can ride around. They got all different areas and different rides, and it's done really good. I wish I could get a creative team on New England or the headquarters, corporate headquarters, to go look. What they really need is someone like myself or some people like you guys to give them the ideas to go look. This is what we want. You don't have to put a ride in every year. Save some money and spend that extra money on theming. So say it takes 3 years to get a ride, 2 to pay for the ride and 1 to pay for the theming for it to make it better. It'll go a long way. I'm okay with not getting rides every year. I just like going to parks. I know I might be in a minority, but I don't give 2 flying craps about record-breaking coasters. I just want to go and have fun. That's all it is. When I go to a park, I want to have fun. I think that's what you guys do. And yes, you guys want to get on a new big bad ride, roller coaster, flat ride, whatever. And I get that. It takes money to spend money. You got to spend money to make money and try and do that. Full Throttle would be a perfect fit, but you would have to make it fit it. I mean, I don't know how many of you have ridden Full Throttle. Like, I didn't watch a POV of it, so I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I just knew that it went inside and outside the loop. I didn't know if it was big, small. I didn't know much about it. I'm like, I don't know when I'm getting out there. I'll just ride it when I get out there. This year I got to ride it. So when you get launched and you go in the loop, and then you're going up, and you're going up, and it goes down into a tunnel, but it stops in the tunnel, launches you back, launches you forward, and you go on top. But it's not a long ride. It could be a perfect fit in the park, but it would really look weird in New England if you put it in Goliath spot, for one. If you put it in what do you call it? If you put it in Blizzard River spot, that would be good. That would be okay. If you put in a Blizzard River spot, put a power splash over in Goliath spot, that could work. You could probably put a power splash over by flashback spot. You'd have to move Balloon Race and you have to move the Scrambler somewhere else, but you could. You could move the Scrambler up over by where Houdini is. Retheme it to steampunk, give it a nice fresh coat of paint, or get a new version. That's still an old version of that ride. You can get a new version. You might be able to get a faster version, a newer version of it, and still be fine. I have not experienced Ghost Town with Ghost Town Alive. So, again, I need to get back out there. I mean, that would fit there. And you know what? If they did that, I would be happy with that ride choice, because I rode Hang Time and it was great. I loved Hang Time. It was very reminiscent of Impulse a little bit. It can almost a little bit. But it's just a compact, better, not a Eurofighter, forget them. Those suck. I like Impulse at Knoebels. That's good. If you want a Eurofighter, Alex, do you live around there? I don't know where you're from. I don't know if you're from around here or down south or out west. If you live around here, go to Canopy Lake and go ride Untamed. That's a Eurofighter. I feel like by the time I get off it, I feel like I'm in a boxing match with Mike Tyson getting my head bashed in. But again, like I said, for me, I'm not a fan of the current Eurofighter model. I mean, I know they got different restraints on them now, the vests. And if I had that, maybe a better experience. Oh, yeah, it's a short ride. Like, Hang Time was a short ride. Full Throttle is a short ride. But they're fun rides. At the end of the day, I hope that I mean, I know Six Flags and Cedar Fair right now won't spend money like, you know how we always talk about in this new day and age. And this is a good question for you guys to let me know in the comments. Do you guys want record-breaking rides, or do you want stuff that's more of an experience? You know, like a Rise of the Resistance, or the Harry Potter motorboat coaster there. You know, do you want the experience, or do you want record-breaking rides? Because, look, let's be honest. For me personally, I would love the experience. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like riding the big bad roller coasters that are out there, but at the same time, if we could get more rides that were more like a Rise of the Resistance to an extent. I mean, Six Flags and Cedar Fair are not going to spend that kind of money. They ain't got it, and they never ain't going to get it unless they do something crazy. Regardless, I still think that I'm just talking about trying to make the experience. Everything's all interactive with each other, and it's just an experience. I mean, you could even say the crappy Green Gods Bank ride, when it's just screens in a cave. It's still an experience that I don't care for, but you have the amazing, what do you call it? You know, all the different theming that they got between a Rise of the Resistance and a Hogwarts motorboat coaster there. Hagrid's motorboat coaster. They took the coaster length record from Mako. I love Mako, but I kind of wish that there was more to see, more to do, more to a lot of stuff. You know, so that's crazy. Knott's blew $500K in the lady, but you know what? It probably paid off for him. I didn't get to see the nighttime. I mean, it was still light out anyway. You couldn't see the light package when I was there. You know. Yeah, I think the end result. Because if you look at, I'm even gonna say this: Universal, let's say Universal Orlando, and Disneyland, and Disney World. I've never been to Hollywood Universal, so I just take them out because I heard that smaller. It's not, you know, and not anywhere as good as Orlando. So let's just take those three parks. What they're doing in the industry is, I think they're finally seeing, they've always been about the experience. Drawing you in to the things that you love. And this stupid thing, this camera, I got to find a better way to get this camera to stay up. Ooh. You know, Disney owns the experience, but here's the thing. Six Flags and Cedar Fair at the moment don't really have the crazy creative to create original concepts that can turn into something awesome. I wish I could find the document that it was a huge, 3 to 5 page document that I sent Six Flags New England about a dock ride to tear down Houdini and a shoot 'em dock ride about the old Wild West. I had character names, scenes listed out, everything. I didn't have any pictures because I can't draw worth the crap. But I explained what could be in the scene. How many scenes. It was a huge article. The biggest thing that I've ever written to give to Six Flags New England. You know. But I feel the more, and because of the way that Disney does, even though they own the experience, you know, I mean, you think about it, they have Disney classics, the movies, and they're incorporating Marvel characters in Disneyland and all these different things. Walt, when he first started everything, was a master at what he did. The experience in a theme park. You know what I mean? Now, is Six Flags a theme park? In a sense. Is Cedar Fair? Somewhat. Not really. They're not on the level of a Universal or a Disney. They're just not. But they could be. Cedar Fair could be. Six Flags could be. And they could generate more money than Disney, even without owning the experiences. They could do that. You know what I'm saying? It could be done. Will it take time to do that? Yes, but they don't have the proper creative people to do it. And if they could, with original concepts that, you know, draw in people when they go and they go, hey, this is great. You know? You gotta, I'm telling you, if you increase the theming, increase the experience, you'll eventually build to a level of like a Universal, and it's not going to happen overnight. This is going to take decades to do this because they own so many parks. To be able to get that might take 20, 30 years, but they could get there and become a top dog like a Disney or Universal and, you know, other places around the world that take pride in theming their product. Until they do that, they're just you're an amusement park with some cardboard cutouts. You know what I mean? Like, it's time for the experience to be brought in. It's time to stop putting in stupid rides every year. Because remember when they didn't do that every year thing? You know, one year you wouldn't get none, the next year you'd get it and be like, whoa, yeah, we're getting something cool, yeah, it's awesome. Ah. And then now it's every year. That special feeling is gone. And because you have so many other things, it's kind of like, yeah, we'll just see what's coming next year. I'm going to ride whatever I ride all the time. That's all. I'm telling you, I could probably write out a plan for Six Flags New England to redo it, make it great, and they would probably still throw it in the trash bin because they're going to look at the dollar signs that it would cost. But it could happen over 10 years. Just saying. There's things that they can do to enhance the experience. Six Flags can do it. Cedar Fair can do it. Yeah, see, with Jeffrey Siebert, with a limited budget that he's got, look what he did with the Pirates Dark Ride and the Joker, the queue line with the Funhouse and all that. What will replace Vortex at Kings Island? Any guess as good as mine. Everything that... Do we agree that the new ride every year thing going away? I mean, I think we all want it to go away because it's just losing its I think it's poor ride choice and poor theming choices. I mean, look, when Harley Quinn opened, they would make, oh, we're going to decorate this in Gotham City in New England. It's going to be amazing. And you look and you're like, okay. They ran out of money. It doesn't, I mean, I don't want people that work at New England that watch this go, he's trashing us because look, I get it. You ain't got a budget. You got no money. You got nothing. What are you going to do? I get that. I do. But they should be. You know? Cedar Fair is increasing themed areas. Example, Wonderland, Carowinds, new theme areas related to the culture of the area in 2019, incorporating the new coasters. That's what they should be doing. Low rides, quality with attraction each year. Should be Vekoma, Bermuda, Blitz for Kings Island. Cedar Fair is still being selective on that. Like Cedar Point, Wonderland, Carowinds are the other major focus parks. Katy and Kings Island, maybe. Forget about that with the rest. Again, it also comes down to clientele. Well, the clientele comes that you allow to come in terms of the product you put in. When you look at pricing to get into a Disney or a Universal park, especially if you're coming from out of state, you got to spend an hour and a leg to take your family there. So a lot of people don't. They stay local because they can afford that. Imagine if all Six Flags, Cedar Fair match up to pricing like constantly, like a Disney, a Universal, etc. Like all passes across all the boards, and all the ticket prices are over $100 a day, and so on and so forth. And that's it. There's no deal, so to speak. Either those people are gonna spend the money, or they're not gonna go, and you gotta have your thrift theme parks, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what they need, J-Kite. They need all that stuff. I mean, right now they don't have. Six Flags doesn't have, or Cedar Fair has the budget, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the money to put in Disney-esque or Universal-esque attractions. They just don't have it. But you don't have to go. I mean, look at the cost on Expedition Everest and the Animal Kingdom. That was over $100 million. The coaster itself was what, $8, $10, $12 million, and then the rest was building them out and building the theming, doing what it did. I know it was ridiculous money. I could be way off the price point, but I remember hearing something about like $100 million just for Expedition Everest. I could be wrong, but I remember years ago hearing that. So, like I said, who the hell knows? But I think if they changed the way that they did some theming and actually did something other than just put some metal signs, it would go a long way, and then people would be like, wow, this is cool. It gets people excited. It gets people talking. It gets things done. You know? I don't know. What do you guys think? But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a Planet Coaster-esque grow show. We're going to play Planet Coaster and build up on this park again. So make sure you join us, help us do it. Thank you guys again for getting us to 900 subscribers. I really appreciate it. The more you share, the more the people subscribe, the bigger we get. And make sure everybody hits us up, and we can talk about other video ideas and stuff. Like I said, you get full credit for it, and we'll just, if anybody wants to contribute. Any and all help is appreciated. And probably Expedition Everest would cost more than the B&M. I haven't heard any talk on Slingshot being removed, but I'm sure that at some point it will. Because not many people use it. I don't see many people on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I paid every price point on that thing. They're fun rides, but they get old fast. But I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Remember, Wednesday is 7 o'clock. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Till then, everybody, keep on coasting. And thank you guys for watching. Peace.